Welcome back. This is MDawg, part 2 of our new leveling series. Hey, at least we didn't leave it with just one part. We at least are going to have 2 parts, right? Going back to Cottage Pine, just as a reminder, first of all, when you are a new player, it's worth getting the free worms if nothing else. But we're going to actually get a spinning tackle this time. So let's see what that put in our possession. It should have been the old spinning rod, right? And then a half-broken old reel, some really cheap line, and then we can put a leader on there. But so we got spinning tackle this time because we may mess around with that, but we'll see. Let's head back to Mosquito. So I figured during the middle of the day, when the fishing is going to be a little slower in the good spots, we can work on getting our presents if we're lucky. And then at night and other hot times, the fishing times, maybe we will just try to catch some bream or something. If you want to be efficient, definitely get 3 feeder rod set up as soon as possible. Like if you're into bottom fishing. I'm seeing in this leveling guide that I'm already being so tempted to just do fun choices, not so much just the really efficient ones. So I'll try to always remind you of this might not be a good idea, but I do think an overall principle of do what's fun is probably a good way to try to enjoy the game. Getting too wrapped up or too focused on the efficient path or whatever, especially when you're new, that's just gonna take some of the fun out. So if you enjoy spin fishing, then do spin fishing and bottom fishing. If you enjoy float fishing, do all 3. I mean, the most efficient thing, what you hear a lot of high level players say, is just focus on one. But in the beginning, I would say experience a little bit of everything, because you never know what's going to end up being the most fun for you. How much silver do we have? I just want to spin silver. Why do I have fish? Oh, that's right. I remember now. Do you remember? I remember. We actually might get lucky here. This is kind of weird, but we might get lucky on. Oh my goodness. Let's do it by weight. 14.6 silver because I held on to a bunch of trash fish. All right, 3 more of those crucians will probably get that. So really, for current orders, we just want to hold on to crucian. Everything else we can go ahead and clear out. Let's sell these. Now it's possible another order could pop, but it's unlikely. Let's just clear out these fish. And we'll hold on to crucian for now. All right, so we have some silver, 33 silver. Let me remind myself how much the lures are. Because this is what I'm thinking. Oh, they're kind of expensive, aren't they? We have to try a snowflake, though, if we're going to do what I think we're going to do. Mass is only 2 grams. The problem is that this would be the better choice. I know this is legitimately a very good spinnerbait. But we're making some fun decisions. Am I really about to spend 18 silver on a spinnerbait? Let's don't do that. Let's don't do that. This is what I want to do for a minute, just to see what it's like. All right, old spinning rod we'll put in 2. Corona we'll put in that. We need to get off of our this. We need to take this off because we're going to need to use it. So on this one, we want to put this cheap line and let's see. I think we want to use this one and the furry. So we're going to try this without spending any money other than we are going to have to rent a boat. Where do you rent a boat? Right over here? No, right here. So it's only 3.5 silver. I just want to see if we can get any bites trolling Mosquito. I know this is a weird thing to do, but let's just try it. And who knows what we're about to... I mean, we might not catch a single thing, but I think it's worth... Can we cast it at all? Yeah, it went pretty good, actually. Okay. Now, we might break something. I mean, who knows? This is very... I mean, obviously, this is the starter spinner rod and the free spinner rods. You can't get worse quality. I'll turn the motor way down so you don't have to hear that while we're trolling. But let's just see if anything is going to be biting on little spinner baits around Mosquito. I just haven't... Oh, wait. Why is this messed up? Oh, it's just because it's damaged. I'm sure the test is fine. Wait. Test 2 grams. Yeah, we're fine on test. It's just damaged. It's just old and in need of repair. It's fine. Alright, so we want... I think the idea is going to be to kind of just see if we can get anything to bite. See, we could have purchased those nice new spinner baits, but... And it might have helped us do a little better, but I'm just... I'm not sure how successful you can be trolling Mosquito. Used to, it was terrible. Now with new Mosquito, yeah, I just don't really know. We're almost to the bream spot. So far we're... Ooh. Oh crap. What have we hooked into? Remember, we have tiny line, so if it's a decent fighting fish, even a small one is going to feel... Do you hear the clicking of the reel? That's because it's so damaged. So, I mean, this thing literally will just fall apart eventually. But we're going to try to catch a couple fish before that happens. Just to see how fun this is. I think we're about to get it in, though. So because my trolling motor's on, I'm still able to steer the boat, so... Oh, it's an eyed, isn't it? Dang. Okay. The eyeds have it. One of the most important things you can do if you're new to this game is find a community. Now, I'm going to suggest that you consider our community that I have in game, but just know that there's lots of communities. You can find a community, some of your favorite streamers or YouTube content creators might have communities like I do. If you hang out in the RF4 Discord, you might find people there that have a chat community. But if you are interested in our community, if you go to this cogwheel right here, click on it, and then select a channel, you're going to type in MyDawgs, MYDAWGS. So right here, we have 1,122 players. We're going to join that. Now we are in this chat, okay? So I know I have chat covered up, and I have that chat covered up intentionally, but if I wanted to, I could now type to people. And if you're new, being in a good chat community is a good way to get information, ask questions, find out about hotspots that are popping up where people are catching lots of good fish. So I really encourage you, one way or another, find a community. People that you feel like are either like-minded or people you enjoy spending time with. It makes this game so much more enjoyable and, frankly, just less frustrating because it is a pretty complicated fishing game. The questions are going to come up even for the most prepared new player. But if I haven't made it obvious enough, what we're doing right now is called trolling. We're literally just pulling the lures, in this case spinner baits, behind the boat at a trolling motor speed. Currently there's only one trolling motor speed. Well, there's a different boat that actually goes slightly faster, but for the most part you don't have control over the speed that you troll like you do when you're actually just running the normal engine. But you'll often catch fish. I'm not sure how lucrative this is to do at Mosquito. I mean, I will say that eyed, it's a pretty nice fish. We hit a level with that eyed. All right, here's another one. I'm going to turn the trolling motor off by hitting J. That way we're not naturally pulling against it. This is what I was expecting we would catch here, is the occasional perch. You see we are leveling up spin fishing. So again, if you think you are going to want to do spin fishing, even from a low level here at Mosquito, you can try it. See what trolling's like. A lot of times, you know, people don't troll till they get to Quarry Lake. And I'll often encourage people once they get to Quarry Lake, even if they're really into bottom fishing, do some trolling. It's almost like bottom fishing in some ways. And it's not that expensive to get into because you can use the same spinning reels. And frankly, when Quarry is hot, it's a good way to earn some silver to start saving for some of your carp gear. Plus, if you learn how to troll at Quarry, start learning how some of the mechanics work with spin fishing, when you get to Volkhov, you'll be a step ahead. And you definitely, if you're interested at all in spin fishing, you'll definitely want to troll at Volkhov too. A lot of carp gear has been purchased on the backs of Atlantic salmon and asp and zander and stuff by trolling Volkhov. And as you can see, I mean, it's pretty low intensive. You can do it with gear that's maybe not quite big enough for the fish that you're catching because the power of the boat, you can chase the fish down. Now it's possible we could hook into a pike, a larger eyed, what else is at Mosquito? A chub? We could hook into something big and nasty here that would just be too fast, run too fast, and we could end up getting spooled or broken line, whatever. But it's fun to try, right? So we're not spending any silver really doing this. I mean, we're using pretty much, in fact we're using free gear entirely. Yeah, perch, pike, eyed, chub. That's pretty much what you're going to see. You know, you're probably not going to catch catfish, especially if you're trolling spinner baits. So far, the bite rate hasn't been great, but the fish we're catching's been okay. That one-eyed and a couple of perch, and it hasn't been too long of a wait, so we're leveling up spin fishing a little bit. We're not making any significant silver. Again, this isn't the most efficient thing, but by all means, have some fun, you know? Have some fun. I think at this point what I'll do is we'll just troll a little bit longer, and then we'll go get set up at that bream spot we tried. Try that a little bit more. I don't know. I hate to fish a spot with just one feeder. What we really want to do, I wonder if we can afford, how much do we need? We're going to need like 10 more silver. I don't know. We might be close. To justify sitting in a spot, even like a bream spot, and actually fishing there, we really need to have 2 feeders, not just one. And you want to get 3 feeders just as soon as you can. So for the most part, I'm just kind of staying out in the middle of the lake. We probably would have a little bit better bite rate if we had fluorocarbon leaders on. And, you know, in the future, if you do spin fishing, you're always going to have, in almost every case, you're going to have either straight fluorocarbon line or fluorocarbon leaders. We also might do a little better if we had better lures. We're using very cheap starter spinning lures. And so far, it's still working, right? At least a little bit. We will at least make back the cost of the boat ticket. I think that's safe to say, right? Especially if we get a perch order. If there's a perch order that any of these end up qualifying for, then that'll be good. Sometimes, ooh, look at that. Oh, crap. See if it comes back. Sometimes the fish will keep chasing it. It didn't actually come off because it didn't actually ever fully get on. But the closer you get to the shore, the sides, I think the more pike bites you could have. And we really aren't prepared to catch pike with these little half broken down spinning rods. And they also are likely to bite straight through our line. So Kind of unpleasant. To pike fish, you either want to use steel leaders, or what really ends up working best later on is just to have strong fluorocarbon leaders, and that will protect against most pike bites. You still might occasionally get bit off, but not a ton. Once you get around 21 kilos or so of fluorocarbon leader, you see a lot less bite-offs. It's 1508. Yeah, I think we just troll this, and then we'll troll back to the bream spot. And that should be about... Actually, no, we don't want to do that, do we? We want to see if we have... We probably ought to just go float fish a couple fish off the dock and see if we can put enough silver together to get a second feeder rod going. But we'll actually have to buy the reel, so I think we're going to need the full 50 whatever. Unless we're going to use this reel. I mean, I guess we could for like 1 or 2 fish. It might break on us though. Come on. I was hoping we catch one more fish. That eye was exciting, wasn't it? I love chasing fish around the lake with the boat. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Alright, so we're in trouble here. But don't worry, you're in the expert hands of MDawg. But just to be clear, we are in trouble. Alright, so I had to put the rod back down in the pod holder there to flip the boat around because we had gotten stuck up on the shore. And then turn the trolling motor back on, and then we've picked it back up. So now it's just operation, can we wear the fish out? When you are chasing a fish down with a trolling motor, you don't want to aim right for the fish. In fact, this is tricky because we don't really have enough room to turn around over here. So I'm going to have to go hard left here and then go ahead and start turning and hope that the fish stays with us or something. Because we don't want to... We'd rather not have to put the rod back down. The fish is strong enough that I'm not really able to lift it much. Oh, it's starting to come a little bit. It now might be a wise decision to actually just turn the trolling motor off. I'm going to do that. We either will wear the fish out over here in this little corner. I'm going to put the anchor down too, actually. Or, worst case scenario, we put the fishing pole back down. And have to turn the trolling motor back off. But if you look at the map, he's just going down in here. I think he'll eventually stop. I don't know that he can... Could be wrong, but I don't think he can, like, go all the way down that stream. Hopefully we will get him in long before that. We'll see, though. Alright, what fish do we hope this is? It doesn't fight like a perch, right? I mean, it fights stronger than that. So we think it's likely a chub or an eyed or a pike. If it was a pike, though, pretty good chance we might have already lost our line by now. So we're thinking chub. I'm going to guess chub. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stick. I'm going to turn off the engine. I'm going to lower my drag a little bit and stand up. That way we can get a little bit more torque on this fish. He is, in fact, starting down that stream over there. Try to get as much rod pressure on the fish as possible. He's going far and fast now. Maybe he can go further this way than I realized. Maybe he can swim right off the map. I mean, we might just be out of luck. Decent amount of... it's a 100-meter spool, so... we've still got a decent amount of line left, though. He's getting there. Alright, he got tired for a second, so we're going to try to get some line back while we have a second. Get his head turned in our direction and just start reeling. He will eventually pull it, shrug us off, and pull it back, but we did make a little bit of progress there. Here he goes again. Could be a sign that he's getting tired. Just depends on how good a fish it is, on how many second winds he'll get. Yeah, we're still reeling line in, though. I mean, I think he's just about given up the ghost, personally. I think things are looking more optimistic now. Alright, this has been pretty fun, guys. I have to admit. We still do have to get our feeders, and then I'll allow us to have more fun with thinking about, do we get a cheap spinning rod and reel set up for trolling Mosquito. I really want to try that snowflake little lure as well. Oh, we're so close to being able to see what kind of fish this is. Just don't pop off till we see what you are. Wait, was I right on chub? Oh, forgot I don't have binoculars. I can't tell. He looks a little bit bigger than I was expecting. Are we going to be able to lift him onto the boat? I don't have a net yet. We can't do this without a net, guys. You got to have a net before you get in the boat. Alright. So one thing, we're going to sit down. Oh, crap. Okay. We want to be closer to the fish. Look, he looks pretty. He looks like a nice little fish there. He's an eyed again, and it's a good one. Can we lift him? Oh. Oof. Goodness. Okay. That was too fun. Too much fun. All right. Okay. I can't believe we got that eyed in. I mean, we that was definitely some luck mixed in there for sure. Okay. We need to get our telesticks going. So this here. And we'll get our feeder out too. Might as well. So yeah, we'll keep it set up the way it was. I mean, an 8. It is getting to be nighttime. Do we think we'll catch any bream over here? Let's just try. I mean, we're bound to catch something, I would think. All right, we're going to go back to 1 meter here. And put it at 1 meter here too. So we didn't quite get it out enough, did we? I think we probably want to just start casting. Since we're just using 2 rods, there's plenty of room to do this. Oh, we have a fish on. Lucky us. Alright. Let's double check cafe. Then sell our fish and see where that leaves us on feeder. Alright, we just need to catch a couple gibbles. That should be possible. 3 more crucians. Look at that eyed order. We're not going to get a 5 kilo eyed. That thing would pull us all over the lake. Alright, so again, we probably want to sell everything except for crucians. Let's see. This eyed was worth 10 silver. That's awesome. Alright, that's 12 silver right there. This puts us at 42. So we can start putting another feeder together. Sleeper? I like these sleepers. Sleepers and roughs here. Oh, okay. There's a bug that's been in here in the game for a long time. Anytime you use a feeder rod after being in the boat fishing, you get that like bug where it sounds like lines being ripped out of your your feeder rod when you first start reeling it in. Now that's cool. Oh, if we could just get on a white bream frenzy here. I think it's unlikely, but man, that would be cool. All right, we can turn the volume back up a little bit so we can hear things a little better. Oh, guys. I had more fun than I should have in that trolling around Mosquito. There was a white bream order, wasn't there? But it was for smaller ones, I think. Probably better off just selling that 300 gram. We'll see, though. We'll see if we get any more. Okay, so we need to get 2 more feeders set up. And we need a shovel, a net, and at least do a little bit of cooking. So that means tea kettle. Then we can play around with maybe getting a spinning rod or something. Maybe. Okay. All right. So, how do we feel about this? About this feeder? I think we get that same size. I think the cheapest one is fine. I'd rather them match than switch to what do you get in the float fishing start? Okay, I gotta stop. What about the spin fishing start? It's 149 silver. You get an arrow. Load capacity 2.7. This is a pretty junk setup, to be honest. I'm not really interested in that, I don't think. Alright, feeder. So we want another one of these. So we've got 4 silver left. We're just going to kind of piece this second feeder together as we catch fish. That's the plan right now. Oh, please be a bag. Please be a bag with something awesome in it. Okay, or a really nice crucian. That'll work too. That'll work too. How much is that crucian worth? 3.5 silver. I like it. I mean, we are just hanging on every coin we can make, aren't we? Yeah, we might eventually get some of these orders. All right, this white bream order, it's worth 23 silver, but I mean, we're just not going to get up to 5, so I think it's fine that we went ahead. Did we sell it? We sold the white bream already, right? Oh, we didn't. It's worth 3 silver. I guess I'll hold on to it a little longer in case we start catching some small ones overnight in this spot. That is possible. That is possible. Now, technically, we should put everything together on this feeder rod. So, and do the reel last. What am I doing? Because we could use that old Russian thing. What else do we need? Bite alarm. What line am I using on the other one? I kind of want to get the same line. That line seems, you know, reasonably okay. I just don't remember what. All right, didn't we put, let's see. So we put 3.1 line on a 3 kilo spark. A little risky, but it's all good. All right, so 3 kilo line. $4 silver. Okay. All right. So we just need to make it 4 silver. We're close. And then it's just a matter of saving up for the reel. And then we've got our second feeder put together. Oh, wait. Might as well catch these little rough and stuff. I'm just going to check this one. Okay, it's fine. Something was moving it around a little bit, so. Uh-oh. Doesn't have a fish on. Yeah, so it's snagged. It's like a ghost snag. Put our friction brake all the way up. And then get it. Just do it carefully. Those ghost snags will usually come undone. Do we have a clip on this? Okay, we don't. So we're just kind of full casting, which I think is fine because we may or may not even be landing in that 4-meter hole, to be honest. All right. Who wants to go first? F turns on the flashlight. Flashlight was improved with the last patch. It works a lot better now. Ugh. Okay. So we have a second feeder. Fishing line. That's not the fishing line we're going to use. We got to buy a new fishing line. Bite indicator. Cage. Ground bait. What size hook? 18. Worm. All right, we're getting there. My goodness, technically, I mean, it's going to be painful, but we could do this. It's going to be so painful. Another nice crucian. If we were smart, we would just stay here, but I want to go check out that bream spot with 2 feeders. Because you never know what we're going to catch down there. We could catch more white bream, catch regular bream. Come on, you know you want to bite. Just very slow bite rate here on the feeder in this spot, so I think we go try the other one. All right, so we got feeder 1, feeder 2, and then we'll keep 1 telestick out. And we're getting there. We just have to buy some necessary items before we can do more experimentation fun stuff, right? Hopefully work will stay off, you know, give us a little bit more time here. If not, I'll have to stop a little shorter, but if it does give us time, then I'll keep going for a little bit. All right, let's get this back in. And hey, since we've got the boat, let's use it. Rental expires in 11 hours. Let's see. Yeah, just right over here and then we'll be close. It's right here, right? All right, so let me see what this official clip is here. Officially, it's 20 meters. Let's just give it a go. Now, do we care which way the fish goes? The fish is naturally going to go to the right anyway. Keep using this reel till it breaks, I guess. Okay, size 18. Let's go with worm. We're at 1 meter depth. I don't know. Maybe we just like go right here. I wish we could. I don't know. Give that a try. It might be too shallow, huh? Yeah, it's not sinking. Listen to that reel. We'll use it till we lose it. Yeah, we'd rather see white bream than regular bream if they're that size. But I don't know if both are out here or not. This might just be the bream. White bream are harder to find now on feeders than they used to be. All right, we have a fish on. Let's see what this is. It's a roach. Oh, it's a gibble. So maybe this is an okay spot. We need to go to depth of like, let's try 80 centimeters and see if that sits at all. Still probably shallow. We just can't cast very far. So 50 meters, I guess. Gotta be careful with our friction brake. Any decent sized bream, we're gonna have it pretty low. That's still too deep on the float, I think. It's very possible that we're going to get spooled, but like if we can catch some 1 kilo bream, they're worth good silver and it's a lot of fun. If it gets any bigger than that, we will start getting into trouble though. Well, looks like it. Okay. Let's see if it sits. Yeah. It's just an awkward place, isn't it? With our little low casting distance ability. Will that sit? Yeah, there we go. That's 50 centimeters. So we'll just hear the bells and then go check out the feeders every once in a while. Oh, do I have 18 on this? I think I do. I think I have 18 on both. Is this a rough? It's like best case scenario. Yeah, I mean, I don't... Maybe we do have the appropriate size on the other one. Yeah, we've got the 8 on the other one. That's good. I think, like, if you're fishing near the shore with float, you can pretty much find crucian, gibble, roach, that kind of stuff just about anywhere. So that's a nice bream. We'll look and see how much silver that's worth here at Mosquito, but typically bream, the sooner you can get into bream, the quicker you can start getting into some silver. All right, little roach. Nothing special, but it was a little roach. I think there's a ledge right there in front of us, so we should be able to get this. Yeah, that looks good. We'll see if we get any bites in that spot. Another 1 kilo bream. I mean, I'm just saying, like, for the gear we have, if we can catch 1 kilo bream, like, we're good. We're not getting any bites on the float yet. All right, bottom fishing, fishing with a feeder rod. We've got 2 more points. Definitely put 1 more here. We could do this. I don't know. This doesn't really help us. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I really think the choices would be ground bait, 3rd point. Let's do that, because then we can just ignore it for a while. Okay, so we are getting a bite. Let's see what we catch here. Also a roach. Okay. Getting some decent fish here. Although I think the other places we've been float fishing were a little better than this one. Let's see if this gets quicker bites. I also wonder if we could, yeah, I bet we could go 1 meter. What you bet we could put it at 1 meter here and it would still sink? Looks like we're right at a ledge at that spot. Any nibbles at all though? Will this be when the reel falls apart? You never know when it's gonna happen, but it's bound to happen eventually. I guess we could have kept this one on rough, kept it on a really small hook. See if we could have caught more rough. I just hate to get like tiny, tiny little breams that are not markers with too much frequency. This seems like a decent one. It's hard to tell with this piece of junk reel and this really light line we're using though. Is it an eyed? Or is it a gibble? It looks like a gibble, doesn't it? It's a gibble. Huh. Which is the type of ground bait we have on, to be fair. Alright, see if we're getting a bite, a nibble. Not at all. Alright, let's try it real quick with that 1 centimeter. See if I'm right about, sorry, 1 meter. See if I'm right about the depth here. Yeah, we're good. It's a little smaller. Nice little rough. Any nibbles? Where is it? Oh, there it is. And it's not budging at all. Not budging at all. I don't know if that'll be deep enough though. Probably have to go back to 50 centimeters. In that spot. Is this another rough? So the nice thing is we have found rough reasonably accessible here. And that's great because there's so many cafe orders for rough that can be really lucrative. Barely a marker? Alright, there's level 8. We're doing great. Barely a marker. But bream aren't really worth anything till you get to the 1 kilo mark. At least not much. Those small markers are, you know, just barely worth anything. And a 1 kilo bream's not worth that much. But normally if you're in a bream spot and you got 3 feeders, you know, you might catch 20 bream that are over a kilo. And especially the ones that get up to 3 to 4 kilos or trophy size, the amount of silver they're worth starts going up significantly. I like it. I think it's on the second one. Yeah. All right, we can only hope that it's a rough. It is tiny. Tiny rough. Holy cow. 20 grams. The old 20 gram rough. Okay, that's weird. What is this? Is this just a really quiet bream? I mean, it was just sitting there on our bait. It wasn't like pulling the line. Yeah, I think it's a roach. It's a decent roach, though. And that's the thing that we'll have to test eventually. Maybe with like pearl barley, peas, maggots. Is this a decent roach spot during the day? Because if you can catch bream at night and like 500 kilo plus roach during the day, that actually does translate to reasonably good silver. Yeah, we're catching the rough here though. So if you use the right size hooks, which is small, preferably size 20 or smaller, this is 18, but if you use the right size hooks, it looks like you can catch rough in this spot. Why are we not getting a nibble this time? Daytime? Yeah, the question is, are the fish we're catching here going to justify staying here a little bit longer early morning? Probably. Even if the float's not getting any bites. Here we go. That's what we want to hear. Reasonable sized. It's coming up now. Once we get above water, it'll come in a lot easier. There we go. Oh, it's still small though. Still not like that 1 kilo size. Oof. Oh, bummer. Let's see if it'll go down right there. Closer to the reeds. That's fine. It's like sitting on the bottom. I think that's fine though. We've had some pretty reasonably okay fishing here, to be fair. Especially doing it with 2 feeders. Yeah, I think we get a better reel for our second feeder before we start spinning silver on a third feeder rod, though. That Russian, old Russian free spinning reel is going to fall apart at some point. Which we can't always get a free one again tomorrow, but I just don't want to use it for too long. Are we getting movement on the float over there a little bit? I think we are. Okay, we don't want this to be a bream. It's way too small. But anything else might be okay. It's a bream. That's what we're going to run into is Um, as the morning goes on, we might get smaller and smaller ones. Alright, what you doing? What you doing? I think it wants to come in. What do you think? Roach. It's a nice little roach on float, though. I will take that. Sleeper. Big sleeper. It's a good little spot we found. Two nice fish back to back. Stay on, fish. There you go. Oh, it's a tiny bream. Wow. This fish swam all the way to shore almost. It really did. It's a sleeper. Again, nice sleeper. Qualifications. So many of the early qualifications just happen without even thinking about it. I can't believe we're already at an hour. This video flew by, probably because we were having so much fun doing that catching that eye. It's another sleeper. I'm not moving until we stop catching decent fish here. I mean, I feel like we need to go back to the present spot or change it up, but we're still catching decent fish, and we're still inside of bream time. They'll usually be active till 9 or 10 in the morning, at least to some degree. But they are awfully small right now. It's rod 2. Line's moving. Now we want this to be a rough, this size. It is not, though. Yeah, 358 gram rough. Right. Something's definitely been working on this a little bit. Oh. Interesting. Both feeder rods have some nibbles going on, it looks like. That is a fish on. Alright, it's 9. I think we wrap it up over here. Perfect timing. We're starting to catch roach. Although, in this case, it's not a bad thing. One more sleeper for the road. See if we can catch one more fish. Morning time trolling here. Whoa. Man, oh man. Our friction brake. I'm getting too lazy on friction brake. Cannot keep it that high. We're going to snap something before I even realize it. Look at the eyed right now. Good for them. Alright. 15 should be more appropriate. We don't have long till the boat expires. Which means if we hook into a big fish, we don't have a backup ticket, so we'll just lose the fish. "40 minutes in game." That happens quick. Well, I guess we're about to show you what happens when you're in a boat and your ticket time expires. Look at that. "20 minutes in game left." When you're trolling, especially if you have a bigger lure, you can actually see the lure behind you. 10 minutes in game left. You can kind of see that lure. 4 minutes left. 2 minutes. 1 minute. There we go. Now, the rod is too far because the rod is still where we left it, which is in the boat. And we can't get it out unless we get in the boat, which we don't have a ticket to get in the boat. All right, so let's see how we did. We're over an hour anyway. It's a good time to wrap up, but let's see if we have any weird orders that have popped up. I mean, we were going to get there on common roach, weren't we? We got there on sleepers. That's 8 silver. I will take that. Yeah, we never did get on a crucian run. We need one more. Are you kidding me? Okay. 49 silver. All right, let's look by price. Yeah, look at these rough. You just forget how good rough are. But 1 kilo bream, 1.1 silver. That doesn't feel great, does it? But they add up, because usually in a bream spot, they're really active. And like I said, when they get bigger, they get even better. All right, we take the bream out in case we do the rest of that order. 43 silver. That's 53 silver. We can put a third feeder together, and we can go for bream in earnest next time, or a little bit more earnest. There's 40 hours left. I just don't know that I'll get to it, to be honest, but okay, so we want to go, we at least want to get one of these, and then we want to get a third cheap feeder, right? I think so. We need one of these. We're just going to be a tiny bit short, aren't we? Because we really need enough for 2 lines. Yeah, that's going to put us at 0.05 silver. Okay. That stinks, doesn't it? So the time to do it would be this next night. I guess I'll just see if I am available still, if we feel like doing another video tonight. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. Having some fun. I'm glad we're incorporating some fun stuff like the trolling on the boats. And I'm also glad we're not stuck just doing float fishing for the gifts. Probably ought to do that a little bit because it's just such a good deal, especially for low-level players. But there's only so much I can do, you know. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace out.